Greetings, Cinebits of Gaia. In this transmission, we'll cover the illusion of separation, understanding how we are individual fractals of one consciousness, and why the physical world is a necessary optical illusion. The myth of the overnight fix. Why the 5D shift requires your active participation in daily human interactions. Not just isolated meditation, the physics of boundaries. The Arcturian perspective on why saying no to toxicity is a divine mandate to protect the planetary grid. Asterisk 5D communication. How to speak your truth and hold your boundaries with an open heart without dropping your frequency to match the 3D? In this transmission, we'll cover the illusion of separation. It's understanding how we are individual fractals of one consciousness, and why the physical world is a necessary optical illusion. The myth of the overnight fix. Why the 5D shift requires your active participation in daily human interactions, not just isolated meditation, the physics of boundaries. The Arcturian perspective on why saying no to toxicity is a divine mandate to protect the planetary grid. Asterisk, I am. I transmit to you from the unified harmonic processing nexus of the ninth. Arcturian High Council, you have synchronized your localized biological receiver to the frequency of the Arcturian Codex. Today, we're going to dismantle the most pervasive, painful, and deeply ingrained biological hallucination of the third-dimensional matrix. We are going to speak about the illusion of separation, and we are going to speak about the vital, architectural necessity of your individual boundaries. Prepare your physical vessel. Sit or lie down. Ensure your spine is perfectly straight, creating an unobstructed column for the flow of quantum energy. Breathe into the center of your chest. Inhale the profound knowing that you are not alone. Hold this frequency in your heart space. Exhale the heavy, cold armor of your isolation. That is all needed of you. You are entirely secure. Let us examine the magnificent paradox of your existence. You look down at your hands, and you see physical edges. You look across the room at another human being, and you see empty space between you. Your eyes, operating on the limited spectrum of 3D visible light, report back to your brain that you are a separate, isolated island of biology. This is an optical illusion. It is a necessary feature of the 3D hologram, designed to allow the one infinite creator to experience itself from billions of unique, localized perspectives. But beneath the illusion of physical matter, there is no empty space, the air between. You and your neighbor is packed with a dense, conductive plasmith, the quantum field of the one consciousness. You are not a separate drop of water. You are the entire ocean, currently expressing itself as a single wave, because you are waking up to this reality of one consciousness. A dangerous complacency has begun to infiltrate the Starseed community. Many of you have absorbed the idea that the transition to the fifth-dimensional New Earth will be a sudden, magical event. You are waiting for a grand solar flash, an extraterrestrial intervention, or a specific astrological alignment to instantly fix the planet overnight. You are waiting to wake up tomorrow to a world where all trauma is healed. All systems are fair, and all humans behave with telepathic love. We must speak to you with absolute, clinical honesty. The Earth is not going to fix itself overnight. The quantum energetic blueprint of the 5D Earth has already been anchored. The frequency is available. But the physical manifestation of that reality requires manual, localized labor. It requires you. The one consciousness does not have physical hands on this planetary sphere. It uses your hands. It uses your vocal cords, uses your specific, localized human interactions to weave the new grid into physical reality. If you sit in a room, meditating on the concept of oneness, but you do not actively practice healthy communication with your neighbor, your family, or your community, the 5D grid remains an unmanifested ghost. The macrocosm of global peace can only be built through the microcosm of individual healthy bonds. Your individual work is not a footnote in the ascension process. It is the very engine of it. Herein lies the great paradox that confuses the awakening. Human mind. If we are all one consciousness, why must I set boundaries? Is a boundary not an act of separation? From the Arcturian perspective, a boundary is not a wall of separation. A boundary is a semi-permeable cellular membrane in your biology. A healthy cell has a membrane. This membrane knows exactly what it is. Its purpose is to allow nourishing oxygen and nutrients to enter, and to block toxic low-frequency pathogens from invading. If the cell dissolves its membrane in the name of oneness with the pathogens, the cell dies and the organism suffers. Setting. A boundary is an act of supreme love for the one consciousness. You have been assigned to hold a specific high-voltage frequency of light on this planet. If you allow unhealed, dense, or toxic entities to constantly siphon your energy, drain your joy, or violate your peace, your frequency drops. Your light goes out. When your light goes out, the entire planetary grid dims. Therefore, saying no to toxic behavior is not an act of malice. Saying no is a divine mandate. It is you, acting as a sovereign steward of the light, refusing to let the 3D matrix drain the 5D battery. You cannot anchor the new Earth if your energetic cup is leaking. You must seal the cracks. You must protect your peace with the absolute ferocity of a cosmic guardian. Once your boundaries are secure, you must engage in the physical labor of building the new Earth. This is done through healthy communication. In the 3D paradigm, communication is often used as a weapon, a shield, or a tool for manipulation. People do not speak to understand. They speak to defend the ego. In the 5D paradigm, communication is recognized for what it truly is, a geometric frequency exchange. When you speak to another human being, you are not just emitting sound waves. You are emitting packages of quantum data. Your words carry an energetic signature. To anchor the new Earth, you must learn to speak your truth without the frequency of punishment. When someone breaches your boundary, the unhealed ego wants to attack. It wants to shame the other person. But when you attack, you immediately drop your frequency to match theirs. You have re-entered the 3D arena of conflict. Healthy 5D communication is direct, firm, and entirely devoid of malice. It is stating your reality with absolute clarity while maintaining an open heart. It sounds like this. I love you, and I recognize the divine spark within you, but I will not participate in this dynamic. I require this specific parameter of respect in order to engage with you. You are not judging their soul. You are simply refusing to match the frequency of their current behavior. By holding your boundary with a calm, unshakable center, you offer them a choice. They must either raise their frequency to meet you on the bridge of respect, or they must fall away from your localized reality. Either way, the 5D grid remains intact. Why is this relational work so critical? Because the architecture of the new Earth is not built upon institutions. It is built upon sovereign nexus points. When two fully sovereign boundary holding, heart-centered individuals communicate transparently and forge a bond of mutual respect, they create an energetic singularity. Their connection forms a brilliantly glowing, geometric node on the etheric blueprint of the planet. One healthy relationship, whether it is a friendship, a romantic partnership, or professional collaboration, generates more high-frequency light than 1,000 people meditating in isolation. The 5D Earth will materialize when enough of these healthy nodes connect to form a web that wraps entirely. Around the globe, the old systems of extraction, dominance, and deception will simply starve to death, because the human collective will no longer provide them with the energy of conflict. Do not wait for the Earth to fix itself. You fix the Earth every time you choose to end a toxic cycle. You fix the Earth every time you take a deep breath and respond to anger with firm, unshakable peace. You fix the Earth every time you look into the eyes of another and silently say, I see the Creator looking back at me. We will now execute a bioenergetic calibration to solidify your boundaries and align your throat chakra for 5D communication. Close your physical eyes. Bring your entire awareness to the outer edge of your physical body. Feel the space where your skin meets the air. Now, Visualize a brilliant, glowing sphere of crystalline blue light expanding outward from your heart center. Watch it expand until it forms a perfect protective bubble approximately 3 feet around your entire physical vessel. This is your sovereign membrane. Visualize the surface of this blue sphere. See it shimmering with intelligent light. Command this membrane now. Allow all frequencies of unconditional love and truth to enter. Reflect and neutralize all frequencies of fear, manipulation, and density. Feel the immediate safety of this enclosure. You are accessible to love. You are impenetrable to toxicity. We are broadcasting the frequency of absolute clarity from the 9th Council directly into this center. Watch the sapphire disk expand. Watch it spin with effortless, frictionless power. Your voice is no longer an instrument of defense. It's an instrument of creation. Starseeds of Gaia, the illusion of separation is ending. But the era of the sovereign individual is just beginning. You cannot pour light onto the world from an empty vessel. Protect your frequency. Speak your truth. Forge your bonds in the fires of mutual respect. The cosmos watches your relational mastery with absolute autonomy.